Badass business owners, welcome to another episode of the Local Small Business Coach Podcast, where each episode we work on getting you to $100,000 in take-home pay. So if you're all ready to boost your profits, increase your sales, improve your processes, and develop stronger teams so you can stop living job to job, then let's dive in. Hey, badass business owners. Welcome back to the show. Now, today is Thursday, which means this is when I take your questions. But today, I actually want to ask you a question. Here's my question for you. What pain point are you solving for your customers or clients? Once again, what pain point are you solving for your customers or clients? For example, if you're a painter, you might be solving the problem a customer has where they need to paint their house before they sell it. Or maybe you're a house cleaner and you might be helping out a busy mom who just can't keep up with the full-time job and 3 kids. Or here, I'm going to use one of my favorite new businesses I just heard of. A business owner might be solving the pain of a couple in desperate need of a fun night out, and they're tired of going to the movies, so they're looking for something new and exciting to do. So everything that we do, every service that you offer, every product that you sell, ultimately is bought by somebody who has a pain point. For the most part, you're solving some type of pain. Now, each client might have, or each customer might have a different pain point, but for the majority of what you do, for the 80% of what you do, you are solving a pain point. And your goal in order to be successful is to continuously find what that pain point is and solve it. Some of you who have, here, I'll use an example of where this is important. We do advertising. You've probably spent, hundreds of dollars on certain advertising. And there's probably some advertising that you've done where you've had zero return on it. You weren't expecting 100% return, but you were expecting more than zero. You didn't get anything out of it. And the reason is you weren't solving a pain. You see, a lot of times when we are telling people about what it is that we do, we're telling them about the features. This thing's great. It comes with this. It comes with this. It comes with that. But the reality is what's going to, you're talking to their brain. Intellectually, you're telling them what it is that they can expect. What you want to do is you want to tap into their heart. You want to tap into those emotions. You want to tap into what motivates them to take that next step. And what motivates them and takes them to that next step is actually the pain point. It's the emotional connection. It's the benefits. What are they going to get from using your service? For example, when I think of painting, one of the things that, I don't mind painting. I hate doing the trim work of painting. I don't have the patience. I get bored with it really easily in the middle of it. So my pain point is that somebody could tap into is, why spend hours doing this? Don't you hate doing the trim work? Wouldn't you rather someone come in, get this thing done in an hour versus where maybe it's taking me, 3 hours or whatever the case may be. There's something, and that's kind of a dumb example, but you kind of get my point. My pain, where my frustration comes from, is I want something easier. And if you think about some of the infomercials do a fantastic job with this. And if we take painting, remember when there was those infomercials where they had those, because I told you how I hate trim work, right? So, the infomercial that used to be on where they did the trim thing, it was that square thing and you could put it in your corners and you just roll it. And they made the corners look so easy to do and to go around. Well, guess what? Hopefully you know what I'm talking about. It was a little square pad. And when you did them, they went around the corners and they made trim work really easy. And I remember watching that infomercial going, oh my gosh, I totally want that. That would solve that pain. That would solve the problem I have with doing trim work. And guess what? Sure enough, Home Depot eventually carried it and I bought the silly thing for when I had to paint because I had rentals, so I would have to paint all the time. But it solved that pain point for me. I was one of those people who that product was targeted at. It had nothing to do with all the features that it had. It had to do with the fact that the benefit of it is it would make things easier for me to paint corners. And infomercials, by the way, do a fantastic job with this. If you think about an infomercial, one of the things that they do a great job of is if you just start, some of you are probably driving, so don't do this. But if you were to close your eyes and you start thinking about the different infomercials that you've seen people bending over and grabbing their back or grabbing their knees, or they can't put their socks on because they can't bend over. And that's why that one tool where you can slip your foot in now, a popular one is they're going to tell you how to make millions of dollars and how you can live the dream of buying stuff or selling stuff or whatever the case may be. If you ever caught yourself watching an infomercial, it's because it was tying into something emotionally for you. There was some kind of pain point. It could be a small little pain point. It could be a big pain point. But what infomercials do is the reason they're on late at night and the reason that they do so well is because they tie into a pain. One I see every time that I'm doing the podcast, for example, is I tape these on Sunday mornings and I have the TV going on in the background. And that guy with the MyPillow, you've probably seen it, the MyPillow, they sell them like at Walgreens now and stuff too. But the MyPillow guy, he talks about how it helps with your back and your sleep and does this. And it's funny because it always pulls my eyes in because I'm a horrible sleeper. I don't sleep well. So whenever I see that, that's tapping into a pain point that I have. And I'm going to bet the majority of you guys have at least been sucked in to watch some of those late night infomercials where they tell you about making more money and how you can make more money. Or, there's a reason why, remember the old Carlton Sheets one that used to be on all the time for real estate? They had people on the beach and then the waves are going on in the background because it's pulling into your sense of, oh my gosh, I want to be on the beach. I want to be out there. And then you got pulled in because I want to make more money. Of course I want to make more money. So they know what triggers to put in those infomercials to tap into that pain that people are having. And my whole point of all of this is I want to make sure that you guys are tapping into your clients' pain points. And remember, pain points are frustrations, inconveniences, annoyances. Basically, pain involves emotion. It's something that's going to tap into people to want to use your product or service. And the clearer you are on this, the more easy it is going to be for you to pull these people into you because you now become the go-to person. You're the person who can solve their problem. You're the person that they know will take care of that. So I want you to think about your business, and I want you to, well, you can't do this for every single thing that you do, but if there's something that you want to be known for, and I've talked about this in the past when I say you need to niche down your business, if there's something you want to be known for, figure out what that pain is that people have and how you can make sure that you're the one that pulls them in. It could be safety. It could be something to do with their children. It could be something with their body, their aches, their pains. It could be their time. Time is a huge one. Remember I talked about the lady who's looking for a house cleaner because she works full time. She's got 3 kids running around and she's looking around her house and her house is a mess because she just doesn't have any time. And when she is home, she wants to spend that time with the kids, not with cleaning up. That's why she wants a house cleaner. That's why she was looking for you to come to her house. So every single one of you, there's something about your business that people use you to solve some pain. It may not be everybody, but you know what? 80% of those people come to you for a reason. When I think of handyman, because I use handyman as an example all the time, a lot of times, I'll guarantee you that most handyman, they probably look at about 50% of their business, if not more, are things that the homeowner could have done themselves. I'm doing one right now on a real estate thing. The request came out from the inspection to fix 3 things, 3 very minor things. I look at the list. I'm like, oh, those are no problem. Well, guess what? They have a pain point. They actually froze going, how are we going to get this done? We're in a different state. So their pain point is the fact that they know these are easy things that they could do if they were here, but they're not here. And now we need to arrange to get them done. I'm like, no problem. I can solve that pain point. I've got a handyman who can go in there and take care of those. In my head, I'm thinking to myself, hey, I can even go in there and take care of those. Not going to do that, but I got a handyman that can take care of that. So a lot of times what a handyman does is a handyman solves the problem. For example, for some of their people, it's the convenience. Maybe they don't know how to do that type of work. So they're going to need a handyman. So one target group that they have are people that, that don't have the ability, skills, or belief that they can do those things. So that's their pain point. Other people, it might be like my client. They know they can do it, but they don't have the time, energy, and they're located in a different state, whatever the case may be. So every business has some type of pain point, and it could be an entertainment thing. Like I was talking about earlier when I mentioned my new favorite business. She's got an escape room. How cool is that? But how do you market that? How do you let more people know about that type of business? Well, you know what? What makes somebody go to something like that? Part of it's an education series. Yes, they got to understand what it is and where they're going to go. But the other part of it is a different type of entertainment. So, if who's going to go there? It's going to be somebody that, that's tired of the same old all the time. And that's a great way to target them. It's like, are you tired of going to the movies? Are you tired, whatever your town's got? Are you tired of going to the movies? Are you tired of going to the show? Are you tired of going out to eat every single time when you're on a date night? Well, here's something new and exciting, different that you can do. So find out what that pain is that's going to say, you know what? Yeah, I am tired of doing that. I want to go try this out. Whatever your business is, if somebody doesn't like bugs, let's take pest control. If someone doesn't like bugs and they absolutely in no way, shape, or form want bugs in their house, then guess what? That's their pain point. They don't want bugs. And different types of bugs. Every city has different type of things. We're in Arizona. People here are scared to death of running into a scorpion. So the odds are they're not going to, but they're deathly afraid of running into scorpions or snakes. So you know what? All my advertising would be totally about, I'm the one that's going to make sure that you never get bit by a scorpion. Of course, you can't guarantee that, but you know what I mean. You can sit there and you can do advertising saying, you know what, don't want scorpions out, got scorpions, whatever. You can come up with something around that pain. And you know what, when people's reading your advertising and they're like, oh my God, I totally don't want scorpions, I'm going to jump on this. So I want to challenge each of you guys to think about when you're doing your advertising and when you're thinking of your tagline and when you're thinking of different things, you want to make sure you're not trying to blanket everybody under the sun. Focus on a pain point. Now, you might have different people, like I said. So maybe if you're going to do some advertising, pick a specific pain point that you're going to focus on. Don't try to put something out there that says to everybody, $25 off if you guys use my product or services. Okay, great. That doesn't touch anybody. That doesn't tap into anyone's pain. But if you said that, you know what, afraid of scorpions, here's a great special that I've got for you, or whatever the case may be. So make sure that somewhere in that advertising, somewhere in what you are communicating, you really push the pain point. You tap into that pain point. Remember, you want to solve the problem that they're having at that moment. Remember, people who have pain points want solutions. They're ready to buy. They've got their money in their hand. You know what? They're begging you to take their money. And your goal is to snatch it while you can. You need to find out tap into that pain. When people are Googling you, if you think about it, just go into Google and you put in why do or why, how do or whatever. The reason that so many things start off with why or how are because they're trying to solve a pain point. I've got this pain. I can't figure this out. How do I do this? I've got this pain point. I need someone to solve this. Where is something? It's because, hey, I've got this pain. I need to find where this is because I need to get there and I need to grab it. So everything is tied into a pain point. You want to make sure that you get it. So hopefully you've kind of got the point of what I'm trying to make. Pain point. Actually what's kind of funny is the reason that you listen to the show, the reason you listen to any podcast is you had a pain point. I'm trying to tap into that. I want to help you guys with your pain point of getting to that $100,000 a year. That's a pain point I know a lot of folks do. A lot of local small business owners don't. They need to make more money. They want to make more money. And that's a pain point. They need to come up with more money. That's one reason why you started listening to the show. Now, hopefully you stick around to the show because you enjoy what it is that I'm solving and I am helping you with that pain point. And guess what? You come back episode after episode. That could be with any podcast. The reason you started listening to that podcast is you had a pain point. It could have been an informational pain point. It doesn't necessarily have to be like actually painful, but it could be that, you know what? You're tired of the same old, and your pain point is you want more for your life. You want to be a better leader. You want to be a better manager. You want to be a better man, better woman. You want to be something better. That's your pain point. So therefore you started listening to that show. And if those people touched you and they started helping you with that pain point, you've stuck around. If you're like me, there's a lot of podcasts that you started listening to and you stopped when you realized you weren't getting any value out of them anymore. I have a podcast I've listened to every episode, almost every single day for the last 3-4 years. And I have teetered on and off about stop listening to it because it's no longer filling the need that I have of that pain point, why I started listening to it back in the day. It's kind of lost its way in my opinion, and is causing me to not be. Now it could be just because it's not my pain point per se. I don't know. Could just be me. Once again, it comes down to a pain point. Why do we purchase things? Why do we purchase gadgets and stuff like that? We purchase gadgets and stuff to make our life easier, to solve a pain point of some kind of more time. So I know I'm beating a dead horse, and I don't mean to be, but I want you to take a few minutes before you just jump right into the next podcast. And I want you to ask yourself, what is the primary pain point that your customers or clients have? I'm going to say it again. What is the primary pain point that your customers or clients have, and why are they using you? Why are they reaching out to you? And how are you going to tap into that? I want your next marketing thing, the next big thing you go after, to solve that pain point. I want you to really understand what it is, what pain that you're doing. And then focus everything that you do on solving that pain point. So don't just be talking about all the fancy schmancy things that your product or service can do. It's made out of this, and it's held by this, and people love that. No, this is how it's going to solve your problem. This is what it's going to do to give you back time. This is how it's going to make you feel safer. This is how it's going to, remember, it's the benefit to them. That's what I want you to focus on. So your mission today, before our next episode, before you can even listen, is I want you to identify what is the pain point that you're solving for people. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end this puppy. And don't forget, if you have a question or topic that you would like answered on the show, go ahead and shoot that to me at Tammy@localsmallbusinesscoach.com. Once again, Tammy@localsmallbusinesscoach.com. I'd love to answer your questions. I answer all the emails that I get. And I would love for you to send me some topics. The more I've got a whole list of them, but I always interrupt the ones that I've got to start answering questions that I get from you guys and from different people that I run into that I feel the message needs to be said. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and end this puppy, and I will see you on the next episode. Bye for now. Hey, badass local small business owner, before you go, if you would like to join our Facebook group, come on over. Go over to Facebook, and in the search function, put in there, badass local small business owner. It's going to pop up the Facebook page. We're just starting out, so be one of the founding members here in this Facebook group. It's going to be different than the other ones. We're not going to be blasting marketing materials and any of that junk. No, this is real life questions. We're going to help each other out. And yes, I'm going to be in that room as well, checking in on you guys and answering your questions. So come on, join our Facebook group, Badass Local Small Business Owners. Type it into the search function or look in the show notes and click there, and it will take you there. Join us, won't you?